Congratulations and welcome to your brand new BMW. I am our residential product genius here at BMW of Fremont, and I'm going to go over some first things you should do and some tips and tricks to enhance your overall experience. The first thing I would like to do, and your client advisor should have already done, is set up the My BMW app. This is very easy now. If you didn't already have it set up, go to the little silhouette of a person right up here, add ID. It's going to create a QR code. Once you're on your My BMW app, go down here to the little silhouette of a person and scan. We're going to connect that up. This will flash about 3 or 4 times, and eventually we're going to start seeing some check marks appear on our screen right here. There we go, all good. So now let's refresh it on your app. Right now we got an error because both keys are right now currently in the vehicle. If we go to Vehicle Keys, we can either link one or both keys to this account. I'm going to link both keys real quick and finish. Now our account is already set up. And if you have multiple vehicles, you'll see all of them appear. Right now the newest one will be at the very bottom. One final confirmation for us to do. And I like to do a quick refresh. Once that says all good, we know everything is all good and ready for us to use. You can also swipe down and it'll pull up some information right here now for us. You get your shortcut menus, notifications, and other things that you can access in the iDrive system itself. Right now, let's go to notifications and let's adjust our privacy settings to make sure everything is current, active, and up to date for our system to have the maximum capabilities for you. Another thing we're able to do now, since our My BMW app is set up, let us set up the Digital Key Plus. Right now, because both keys are in the vehicle, we can activate this. It'll bring you to either Apple Wallet on an iOS device, or Google Wallet on a Google Pixel, or Samsung Wallet on a Samsung device. You can, in this particular vehicle, which is 5 Series and above, or X5s and above, you don't need to have the phone physically on the charging pad down here. On other vehicles from 4s and less, you would need to activate by putting your phone on the little charging pad. Looks like, let me turn Bluetooth on real quick for us. There we go. Looks like we're getting a quick little error because my Bluetooth was off on my phone. Let's do this again. If for some reason it doesn't activate right away, you also can put it on the little tray down here in the center console, and it'll start activating. Now you will have access to both of your key fobs. You have your physical card key and your one on the phone. And if you're sharing from iOS to iOS device, it can be upwards of 15, or if you're doing from an Android to an Android or Android to iOS, it's about 5 devices. It's going to show you how to do it, but let's manage it in our Apple Wallet real quick. And you can text it and share it to multiple different people if you like. But now that that is set up, you also have access to some of your other vehicle features. On this particular vehicle, I can raise the ride height because we have air suspension. I can do remote control parking by physically being outside the vehicle, moving it forward and back if I'd like. But with the My BMW app, even if you didn't have that set up, you can still see your location, so you can navigate to your vehicle if you forget where you park it, and see walking instructions to get there. You can also see charging information because this one is a plug-in hybrid. It can find charging stations around us, and we can adjust charging information and status and other things like that. We'll go over that a little bit more in depth later on. But now that our My BMW app is set up, you can connect your phone like you would, whether you want to use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I made a video on how to do that, but it's simple as music icon, audio source, mobile device, and you can connect it and pair it right up there for us. So on some older vehicles, you had buttons down here, 1 through 8 or 1 through 7. Those were your shortcut buttons. People like to use those for music stations. And you can, those ones, like I said, are now moved up here. But as you can see, you can use these a lot more for than music stations. There is only 8 here, but you can have up to 40 presets if you'd like. So let's go back to our radio stations and save as preset. Once it's saved as a preset, under your audio sources, you have a preset icon. As you can see, this one now has still multiple stations saved, and you can scroll through them either by using your control wheel here or the controls on your steering wheel. I'll go over those a little bit more soon. But you can have up to 40 presets here, and these can be saved to multiple other things built into your iDrive system. In my personal vehicle, I have one to navigate home, my mom has one to call the house, and my dad has them set up for music. If you want to add one, it's as simple as pressing and holding. So let's go to something you may want to have access to, like your next services. You can press and hold. That little bar filled up, you can add it to a shortcut. So now wherever you are in the settings, swipe down, click it, and it'll bring us right here to all of your required services. You also are seeing these little icons appear. These ones are ways to access certain things, and they also correspond with the iDrive control wheel. Push up, push down, push right, push left. And it's highlighting the different things being indicated on the iDrive system itself. Now, this vehicle being a plug-in hybrid, let's go to our charging information. You can find it here through all these cluster of apps. You also can move these around if you want to. If you are using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay and you have app integration turned on, you'll see some icons saying in CarPlay or in Android Auto. Those ones will move these around if you get an update on your phone. But let's go down to charging. And you have a whole bunch of different information here. These ones are usually used together. So right now I have it set to automatically charge as soon as I plug in. You can also have it start and end charging from a certain window if you have electricity cheaper. It will charge automatically right away if your timing spot is too short to get you a full charge. Departure time. If you're plugged into a high enough powered wall outlet, so a 240 volt system plugged into your house, it will automatically condition the interior of the vehicle and the high voltage battery pack. So when you get in and you have your full charge, your battery pack is already at an operating temperature, making it more efficient, and your interior is already set to the condition that you prefer. Whether you want it hotter or colder, whatever you have your climate control set to will automatically heat up or cool down to that specific temperature. You can have it set to do it once or on a routine regular basis. I like to have my car start in the morning about 10 minutes before I go to work. The interior is already at a nice comfortable temperature for me, and being mine's a full gasoline vehicle, it will start the engine and run it for 15 minutes, so make sure it's parked outside or in a well-ventilated area. And now my engine's at an operating temperature, giving you a little extra prolonged engine life. On this vehicle, you can also adjust your maximum AC limit. This is your alternating current limit, so this is at home charging. If you have this on and set to a certain amperage to pull electricity from your house without blowing a circuit breaker, on a full electric vehicle, if you go to a DC or a high-powered quick charging station, it will override this. This is only for alternating current. So if you need to raise this up a little bit to charge faster, you can. But if it's not a designated circuit that you're plugged into, or if you're sharing it with other electronic devices on your house, you may need to lower this down. It will charge slower, but you're not going to break any circuit breakers. If you do have a designated one set up, you can raise this all the way up. On a plug-in hybrid, it's 32. On a full electric, it is 48. The supplied BMW quick charger, or flexible fast charger as we like to call it, will go as high as 40 amps. If you get one installed at your house that goes up to 50 amps, the car is only able to pull 48 of those amps. You can also adjust your charging target. This particular vehicle is set to 100%. You can lower this down if you want to help prolong the battery life. You do not have to if you do not want to. BMW has a built-in buffer into our battery packs, so if you go to 100% or deplete it down to 0%, there is still a built-in buffer to help prolong your battery life. If you're at a charging station and you need to unlock your charging cable due to an unresponsive station, you can unlock them here. So you can unlock your AC or your household outlet once the vehicle is at your preferred charging target, or unlock it permanently so you can unplug it or plug it in whenever you will want to. You can also have location-based charging settings. So if it's at a certain location, whether it's a house or work, you can adjust those here. And I do not have it on this particular vehicle, it's for full electric vehicles only, but you have plug and charge capability, where if you go to a high-powered outdoor charging station, whether it's Electrify America or somewhere else, you can have it set up to, as soon as you plug in, it automatically starts charging your specific account, so you don't need to use an app. Another one will be preconditioning the battery. This one is used, so if you're using one of those high-powered outdoor DC quick charging stations, you can manually precondition the battery to either heat up or cool down to an operating temperature. So as soon as you plug in, it can pull the maximum power from the station it can. Or if you're using the BMW navigation, it will automatically do that for you if you're navigating to a quick charging station and the battery needs to condition itself. Safety features. So you can access those always through these 4 squares. These 4 squares will bring up all of your BMW app icons, or on some vehicles that have a little line next to the icon, they're scattered around the vehicle. Those ones will be quick shortcuts to these respective apps. So these will be located in driving settings, driving assistance, safety and warnings. So these are all of your active safety features. BMW has a lot of passive safety features built in, super strong brakes, 50-50 balance for quick and stable maneuvering, but you also have other ones built in with just your normal passive ones like a low center of gravity as well. So your first one on this particular vehicle is forward collision warning and mitigation system. So in certain circumstances at speeds below 40 miles an hour, it can apply the brakes if need. It will always prime the brakes. There's about 3 systems you will see. One is in your instrument cluster. It'll have just a picture of a car. If you're coming up behind a vehicle and the distance and speed between the two of you are changing. If it detects a more urgent one, it will have a picture of a vehicle in your instrument cluster and it will flash and make an audible warning. And if you're in one of those available brake integration systems, it will apply the brakes. I've had that happen to me twice before. Another one is lane departure warning. This one, people have a lot of adjustments. So you can expand it, which is the most setting or the most sensitive, in dangerous situation, or off altogether. This one also has steering intervention. So right now, with it on, it will actually pull the vehicle back in the lane. If you do not want it to pull yourself back in the lane, make sure it's unchecked and it'll just vibrate the steering wheel. You also have blind spot detection. You can have it expanded, which is most sensitive, reduced, a little bit less sensitive, or all the way off. And this one does have a steering intervention and an audible warning when turning. You also have a speed warning if you'd like. I skipped over exit warning. This one is very similar to blind spot detection, but it's mainly used on highways. And fatigue alert if you're on a long drive. I have the stamina to drive long distances without stopping. It will just give you warnings once the vehicle's been on for a while, at a consistent speed for a while, nor doors open for a while, giving you suggestions to pull off at a rest stop. Speed warning though, you can have it set to any of these speeds being indicated right here. So say if you want to have it set to 75 miles an hour. As soon as you cross that threshold of speed, it'll give you an audible warning. It will not continue to warn you, but it'll only warn you once you cross it. If you go back under and cross it again, it'll give you another warning. You also have parking and driving settings. These are used for your parking assistance and your driving assistance. Each one I will also go over in other videos that I'll link down below. Climate control. This is how I have mine set up in my personal vehicle. 70, auto, and I never need to touch it again. This particular vehicle and all of our vehicles have an internal temperature sensor. So right now it's set to 70 degrees. It is being indicated 57 outside. So if the interior vehicle is above 70 degrees, it will turn the AC on, as it is right now, to lower me down to 70. If it is 57 outside and this vehicle was sitting overnight, it would probably be cold inside. It'll automatically turn the heater to get back up to 70 degrees. Right now I have it synchronized, so whatever I do to the driver's side will imitate to the passenger side. If I touch the passenger side, it desynchronizes it. You can press synchronize, and they'll synchronize right back up for us. You can also adjust if you want to automatically recirculate, so either pulling the outside fresh air in or recirculating just the inside air. If you do not want to use auto, you can press this icon right here, and these are your manual seat climate control functions. So it'll turn heater on or AC on if you have it set high enough or if you have it set low enough. You can adjust your fan speed. These are combined. You can desynchronize it and lower passenger down. Right now it's blowing at head and body. If you do not want body, and if you do not want body here, you can have it just out of these vents. If you only want it at feet for the driver and body for passenger, you can adjust it here. If you want to turn on your windshield, you can turn it on right up here. This gives you a lot more manual functionality to your climate control if you want to have it more of a manual functionality. Me personally, like I said, 70 auto. Right now I have it set to medium fan speed. So the fastest the fan will go is medium, and it will lower down once it reaches that operating or optimal temperature for you. So now we went over the BMW iDrive system. This one is iDrive 8. Some new vehicles will have iDrive 9. But even if your vehicle has 8 or iDrive 9, some of your controls will look a little bit different. These ones will be pretty much similar. On SUVs, you have your climate control vents here. You can close it or open it if you'd like. Other ones, they'll look a little bit different, and I'll put pictures up here. Down here is your interior climate control temperature sensor, your volume knob, forward and back tracks, and if you need to max defrost the windshield or the rear window. Cup holders here. So with your cup holders here, you also have your little wireless charging pad here and some extra storage. Depending on your vehicle, if you have an iOS or an Android device will charge faster due to an Apple limitation. They will get your phone a little on the warmer side if you're having an iOS device because of that limitation from Apple. And if you're using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, it will get a little bit warmer because of wireless charging technology and your phone still needing to do contact with the outside world. Recommendation, use this USB port here or your 12-volt socket here if you are using your phone integration system and not the BMW iDrive system. Over here, you have your traction control on this particular vehicle. It will always do default to on when you're starting a vehicle. Right here, your P with the traffic cone will bring up your 360 cameras or your backup camera depending on your version. You can also press this button to turn on to get to your parking assistance features, which I'll link down below. And your different driving modes. In some vehicles, it's called My Modes. These ones will not make more power, will not lose power. It'll adjust how the power is delivered to your driving situation. And here is that control wheel. So like I said, these buttons here will correspond with these buttons up here. If I go here and toggle up, it toggled up. If I toggle down, it goes back down. Pretty self-explanatory right there. But now, let's go to the wheel. Different versions, again, will look a little bit different. This is one of the older versions that we have. I'll put a picture of a new wheel up soon. So up here, volume control. Right here is your scroll wheel. And now, Because we have a preset set, you can see them up here if you like, or in the settings, you can adjust it. If you want to adjust it, go down to 4 squares, go to displays, head-up display. You can adjust the height. If your current seating position is not good for your current display, you can adjust the rotation. So if you have polarized sunglasses, to see better, or if you want to make it brighter or dimmer depending on your current driving style. But in your instrument cluster, like I said, your location, you can have an in your head-up display or in your instrument cluster. So if you're using the scroll wheel, it's now displayed down here. You have your phone button to answer or decline phone calls once you're in the phone call. Your shortcut to adjust all of your settings down here. And your BMW Assistant button. If you have your phone connected to either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and you press and hold this button, it'll bring up the Assistant on your phone. Let me go to hybrid mode. This one will give us the most functionality of our customizations. You can adjust your content you have displayed down here, whether you want your trip computer, your information of everything happening around you, your compass or map view. Here's a normal full map view. A G meter if you're at a racetrack and you want to see this information, and your music being listened to right now. You can also adjust the layout. If you want the bigger brackets, you can have smaller brackets or a single line. I prefer this view in electric vehicles, and I like this view or this view in gas vehicles, and especially if I am in engine mode, I like to see my RPMs. Over here, you have all of your cruise control functionality. I/O will turn it on. Set will set to whatever speed limit is being indicated on your instrument cluster. Mode is either distance control or distance with lane assist. And if your particular vehicle has driving assistance professional, if you're in distance with lane assist and you're on a select highway, it'll give you hands-free up to that 85 miles an hour. I'll have that also linked down below. Resume and cancel, it's like play and pause. They actually remove that on some of the newer versions since it wasn't as widely used. This one also has a BC button or board control. If you press this once, it brings you a quick access to your trip odometer. Going back over here, this one will adjust that layout again. If you want to go back to how it normally was, or if it's a newer version, instead of 3 lines, it's a little gear with some parentheses around it. Hopefully this information was helpful in your brand new vehicle purchase from here BMW Fremont, or if you buy a new, pre-owned, or used vehicle, hopefully gave you some insights of the maximum functionality of your new BMW. If you also purchase one here with us, whether it was new, certified, or pre-owned, you already have an email from me. If you ever have any other questions, please feel free to reach out, and I'll be more than happy to help you out in any way I can. Thank you, congratulations, and enjoy your new ultimate driving machine.